Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma Davidab. I am so glad you are here with me. I'm particularly excited today because it is my first time in my new space filming. I mean, old space, same space that I was living in before, but I had vacated due to Corona and now I'm back here in New York City on the Upper East Side where I am the most happy. So today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite types of products, that being cream blushes. So I'm just going to be talking about some of my favorites that aren't cloud paint because we all know, we get it, it's good. And sometimes you want a little variety in your life. Cream blushes are really, really great for this time of year. I think that a cream blush formulation is great year-round, but especially now because it's summer and you want things to be light and balmy and easy. And cream blushes are also wonderful because they go great on bare skin, and I know that in the summer I normally don't like a heavy foundation going on, but we are going to talk about what blushes lay best over what kind of makeup for what kind of look you're going for, and we're just going to try to have some variety. Alright, so let's dive right in. So the first product we're going to be talking about is the Revlon Photoready Cheek Flushing Tint. It says new. I don't know if that means they changed the formulation, but this is the one I want. And it is in the shade 002 Flashy, and this retails for a nice $10.70, so it's a great drugstore product. This is sort of your no makeup product. It is a bright coral color, but the way that it applies is literally like watercolor for your face. So it comes out and it's very liquidy. Like you can see here, it almost looks watery. And I like to pat this out just with a simple beauty blender. I'm just doing it with my finger now. With my wrist. This is a cute little dance move moment.
You're getting on my nerves.
It really just gives you that look of being a little porcelain doll with your flushed cheeks and your glass skin. That's sort of the trend here. It's just inexpensive, it works well, and it literally feels like nothing on the skin. I could probably fall asleep in this and forget to take off my makeup, which I don't do, because please take off your makeup. The next product we are going to be talking about is the Gogo Tint from Benefit. So this retails for $18, which honestly I think is a pretty fair price. I think Benefit tends to price really well for being a somewhat luxury brand. You know, it sells Sephora, it's not your average drugstore brand, but $18 can sometimes be a drugstore price. It's right in that middle end there, and I think they do a good job of it. What's awesome about this is honestly the color. The formulation is cool. It's not like the other ones that come in these bottles. Well, it's similar to some of them, but it's not the same as the Benetint, which is a lot more of that watercolory liquidy thing like the last product I mentioned. This is going to be slightly more opaque. I mean, when you put it on your wrist, it almost looks like nail polish, right? But it's got this sort of bright, cool toned hot pink thing going where it's somewhat editorial. I feel like if you're going for a really fun look, use something like this, and you can very much blend it out to be not so much. I also think that this would be great for slightly darker skin tones because it still has that watercolory vibe, but it also is really pigmented. So you can sort of see what's going on here. It's just a very unique color, and I think they deserve a spot. Okay, next we have the NYX Whipped Roulette in the shade, I know you have a name, Pink Cloud, which actually I think is a perfect name for this shade. I recommend this to everyone. I recommend it to my mom. She loves it. I'm actually wearing it right now on the cheeks. This, first of all, applies well over everything. Over powders as a cream, it's fine. On the bare skin, it's fine. It's just the most easy blurring. I would say it is somewhat similar to a cloud paint in that sense that it's very blurring. Sort of cream blush. I love the color. It's just sort of a soft pink, leaning warm, a little peachy, but mostly just pink. I tend to go for pinks on the blush. That's just what's flattering on me. I go for less of a nude vibe. But I do believe this comes in other colors. It smells literally delicious. It smells like frosting. Like, you know the NYX butter glosses? It's similar to that vibe, but somehow even tastier. So it comes out pretty opaque and you might be like, what? This seems kind of sticky and weird. What are we doing here? But I actually just blend this out with my finger. I think it's always the easiest. What I tend to do is I pat it out till we've got kind of like a nice flush here, and then I'll literally, and I normally would not do this, but I swipe. And and I'll just swipe it up the cheek, and it just gives you like a gorgeous flush. And I will say this is definitely more natural leaning than the other ones. It's slightly less pigmented, but you can definitely build it up. I haven't put on too much today because I'm gonna want to show you another blush later, and I don't want to look like a clown. But I think that this is perfect and natural, and just, you can do it with anything. Highly, highly, highly recommend. And it retails for a cute $12.94. The next product is the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Stick, which obviously can be used on your lips or your cheeks, but we're going to talk about it as a cream blush. And this retails for $28, so it is a little bit up there, but I will say you get a lot. This is 1 ounce, so that's like how much you would get of, you know, a lot of foundations. I don't know how I could possibly ever use this much blush, so keep that in mind because it is pricier. One of the reasons I did want to show you this is I do have a good sort of tip and trick moment for you guys. This is one of those products that I tend to apply directly to the face, and it's also a product that I wear a lot in the summer. Because of that, I often get SPF mist into here. I often get
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Because of that, there's often an SPF residue on the stick, which I just have not cleaned as often as I should, and so I ran into a problem in the winter where all of the SPF sort of blended with the product and made it dry out and gave it a super awful, weird, sticky texture. But I'm thinking to myself, I've got an ounce of product here. So when you have a stick product and the top gets rough, you can literally just slice it off. Just slice it off with a knife. And it's super, super satisfying. I'm gonna insert a video for your pleasure just because, damn. Besides the tip and trick portion of this product, I will tell you about its wonderful attributes. It's super long wearing, which I find to be not usually the case with products of this nature that are super balmy. It does go on pretty thick. It can feel at first sometimes a little Vaseline-y, but it does work really well. What I'll often do, I'm going to show you just on this one cheek. Put it on like that, and you can see it's got this sort of like cool tone bubblegum look, which I think is fun. And then I'll take a dense brush like this and just buff it out. And you will notice that each of these cream blushes do have a different application method that I prefer. It's just the sort of thing that you have to find as you go. So not all cream blushes are going to be applied the same way, and I think that's why people tend to think they're difficult. But if you find the best application method for the product that you're using, it tends to be pretty easy. Whether it is your beauty blender, whether it's just your fingers, or whether it's a big dense brush like this. This is the Sephora Pro All Over Powder Brush. It's number 61. Gosh, I put on so much blush. Remember when I said I wasn't gonna look like a clown? Jokes. Anyway, usually application is pretty easy for a cream blush. They blend out pretty quickly for the most part, especially the ones that I am recommending to you. You've just gotta pick your application method well. That was the point of that rant. Okay, so moving on to our last product. This is the NARS Matte Multiple Stick in Siam. So this product, just to be clear, isn't technically a cream blush or a cream anything. The Matte Multiple is a product sort of more marketed to professionals, so you're really just getting sort of a straight cream pigment here. You can use it however you want, on the lips, on the cheek, on the eyes, for an eyeliner, what have you. This is a little higher in price. It's our priciest one at $39, but what you're paying for here is pure, unadulterated pigment. It is totally and completely opaque. It's high quality. So if you are a makeup artist, having something like this in your kit is something I'd recommend. It is only 0.26 ounces, so you're not getting the same amount as the Milk product, but the product it's really high quality. The way that I like to use it on the cheeks is with sort of just a stamping motion and only using a little bit, just to contrast, to show you what it looks like if I were to swipe it on. It is literally bright. It is completely opaque. So I like to use it also with a dense brush and just sort of buff it out. What I think is cool about this on the cheek is that because it is such a true red, leaning a little bit warm orange red, it gives you a look of a natural look because, you know, our blood is red, fun fact. So it goes to show that a red blush, when applied correctly, can give you a natural looking flush. So if you are a makeup artist, if you're trying to make someone look like they just had a workout, or if you're just a regular gal and you want to look like you're fresh and cute and just so bashful and blushy, then this might be the blush for you. The next blush that I want to talk about is the Bobbi Brown Pot Rouge for lips and cheeks. So this one is also a lip and cheek blush. This blush goes for $33. It comes in a nice little pot like this. This is a very pigmented blush. So again, the higher the price, usually the higher the pigment. That's not always the case. I mean, there's definitely lots of no makeup that's infused with a lot of great skincare that's up there in price, but the reason that this is up there in price is because of the pigment. You can see here in this swatch that it is undeniably opaque. I was lucky enough to have this sent to me by Bobbi Brown, not because I'm on any PR list yet, but because I want to give away, which, am I the only one who kind of just always thought giveaways were a sham? I'm like, nah, there's no way they're actually giving out that much makeup. It's just a press stunt. No one wins. Well, I won, so that was cool. I never would have thought to try out this particular blush, but I'm so glad that I was able to. This is definitely high pigment in the sense that a little bit goes a very long way. I usually apply this with a beauty blender, well, first with my finger and then I'll blend it out with the beauty blender. It also works with the dense brush. That's true with a lot of the thicker formulas. I really like this one. It's also just a nice sort of muted rosy pink that I think works in any season. I think if there's a blush out of these that works the best maybe in the fall, winter, shade wise, this would be the one. Which is funny, pale pink, you would think they would have had somewhat of a more interesting name. This one goes really well over full coverage foundations. It is not a no makeup sort of thing. She's here to play, she's here to win. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know. I personally just really love talking about blushes. I feel like they're the most wholesome part of makeup. Like your eyeliner, she's sexy. Your lip gloss, oh, she's so sexy. Your blush, she's sweet, right? Okay, I feel like it's a good vibe to start on in my new studio. Please let me know if there are other videos like this you want to see. If you want to see, for example, my favorite drugstore bronzers, my favorite high-end bronzers, my favorite of any category, my least favorite, I don't know. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you want to see. I just want to remind you guys to please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I'm going to be posting videos a little bit more often now that I have a sort of standard studio space that I can stay in. You can also turn on notifications, ring that little bell if you want to be notified when I post new videos. I would really appreciate your support of my channel. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, start of your semester, and I will see you in my next video.